Okay, ladies and gentlemen, hope the first two sections went well for you. This is the last section of the week. We are on Thursday, 4.3. This is called the quadratic formula. Again, some of you may have some experience with this. Again, I'm going to teach it as if you've never seen it before. Okay, again, continue to email and text me if you have questions, okay? So here's what it looks like. The quadratic formula is a way to solve the zeros. We've been solving zeros for the last couple units and stuff and sections. So it's a way to solve the zeros of a function if you are unable to use it using the other methods that we've kind of done so far, mostly factoring. Some of you that still struggle with factoring, you can use this anytime, okay? So it'll always work if it's done properly. The formula looks a little complicated, but it's pretty straightforward, okay? So the x values, or the values of 0, and sometimes there's more than one, can be found if you do negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a. Okay, so that's what the formula says. It looks kind of complicated, but once you put it into practice, it's pretty straightforward. Okay, so a function is in standard form when it's in the ax squared bx plus c form. You're going to use the a, b, and c, whatever those numbers, whatever those values, whatever those coefficients, to put into the formula. Okay, so here's what it's going to look like. So the question says 2x squared minus 5x minus 1 equals 0. Determine the zeros. Okay, so off on the side here, you can put this on the side if you need to. The value of a is 2, the value of b is negative 5, and the value of c is negative 1. Make sure you use the proper signs in front of it. And then we plug it into the formula. Okay, so we have negative b. So just wrap the negative 5. We'll fix that later. So it's a negative, whatever the b value is, put it in parentheses so that you don't confuse signs. Plus or minus the square root of b squared, we'll fix that later, minus 4 times a times c, negative 4ac, and divide the entire thing by 2a, and off we go. We're going to simplify. Okay, so the first thing we're going to fix is this negative 5. It ends up being positive 5. We're going to use plus or minus the square root. Negative 5 squared, negative 5 times negative 5, positive 25. Here's where you might go wrong if you don't use your signs properly. Okay, so it's negative 4 times positive 2 times negative 1. When you multiply three numbers and two of them are negative, the sign turns positive. So 4, 2, and 1 is going to give you a positive 8. The negative 4 times positive 2 times negative 1. Take all of it with the signs in your calculator and spit out a value. Sometimes it's positive, sometimes it's negative. If you get the wrong sign here, you can get the rest of the question kind of wrong, right? And then divide it by 4. 2 times 2 on the bottom is 4. From there, simplify the number under the root. 25 and 8 is 33. So it's 5 plus or minus square root 33 divided by 4. From here, once you get to this step, I want you to branch here, because for this one there is 2 zeros. There's 2 answers that make this solution come true. So do 5 plus root 33 over 4, and then 5 minus root 33 over 4, because it's plus or minus. Okay, so you have 2 branches, and then solve each branch individually. So when I do that, 5 plus root 33, I simplified root 33 to 5.74. 2 decimal places is fine. Divided by 4, put it into your calculator, you get 2.69. The other one, 5 minus 5.74, the square root of 33 divided by 4, is negative 0.19. Approximately equal to is fine, 2 decimal places is fine. So this one, it doesn't have perfect zeros, perfect whole numbers. It has numbers with decimals in it. And that's okay. Write them down, round to 2 decimal places. And hopefully that should be pretty straightforward, okay? I just want to identify 2 other scenarios because they're going to come up in your homework tonight. Okay, so in this example, root 33 had 2 answers because I could go plus 5.74 or minus 5.74. You're going to get other scenarios if you got the value under the root sign is equal to 0, or the square root of 0, you're only going to get one answer. When you branch it, you're going to get both branches are going to have the same number on the bottom. So there are scenarios where there's only 1 0. Remember, we have parabolas that touch only once on the axis, right? And that happens. Cool. If you get a negative number under the root sign, when you go to push it into your calculator, you're going to get error. And the reason is there is no zeros for this question. So maybe it's a parabola that looks like that. It never touches the x-axis. And that's okay too. So realize you're going to get all three of those scenarios. These are the three that we've discussed earlier in the course. The 2 zeros, 1 0, no 0, whatever you get, that's fine. Okay, so just focus on the number under the root sign. If it's positive, it's going to have 2 solutions or 2 zeros. If the root sign equals 0, only one answer. And if it's a negative number, you can't do it. There are no zeros, and that's what you state in the conclusion of your problem or the answer to your question once you submit. Okay, 3 questions for today, page 222, 3, 6, and 8. Once this section is done, please submit all 3 sections for the week in this 4.3 assignment folder. Put it all together so you can scan the pictures using the notes section. If you have an iPhone, you can upload it. You can take pictures. You can whatever you need to do. Submit it as one file. I'll go through it, check it off, mark it, and then we'll move on to next week's stuff. Okay? So please continue to email, instant message me. I'll help out as best as I can. So we are done for the week. Obviously, tomorrow is Good Friday, and we obviously have a 4-day weekend. There's nothing going to be uploaded on Monday, so we'll start again fresh on Tuesday. Hope you guys have had an okay week. I hope you have a great long weekend. Happy Easter to you and your families. I hope everybody's doing well. I miss you guys, and all the best, okay? We'll see you guys on Tuesday. Take care.